Good evening. I'm Leah Lando. Live tonight, we are in the town of Tonawanda in front of the Sumitomo Rubber plant. 1,500 employees who work here learned today suddenly that this plant is shutting down. They're without a job. We spoke with so many of them. They say they learned on social media in many cases. Posts in a Facebook group prompted workers to come by the plant this morning. That's when they were met with security officers in tactical gear blocking the entrance hours after many employees learned about the closure. Sumitomo emailed staff at 12:15 p.m. Now, 7 News has obtained that message. It says in part this decision was not made lightly. We understand the significant impact it has on each of you and your families. Of course, this is a major blow to so many, to workers, to this community, to their family. This company, which has been here for more than a century, it was back in 1920. Crews broke ground on this facility to house a Dunlop Tires' first U.S. plant. Sumitomo became the sole owner of in 2015, and just 2 years ago, your tax dollars, they were used for a $122 million investment into this facility. At the time, Sumitomo said it would help answer increased tire demand driven by stores' strong SUV that is, and light truck sales in North America. So clearly a lot of history here, a lot of livelihoods impacted. And we also want to mention an important note: the company did not issue a warn notice until after the news broke, which they're required to do. And joining me now, Eileen Buckley, and she also spoke with some employees here, just shocked by this news, learning on social media, holding on to some hope, though, that maybe this plant can be saved. Eileen, what'd they say?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Leah, what I'm learning is that there is a possible bipartisan effort from both sides of the aisle among federal, state, and local leaders.
And we're going to fight like hell.
State Assemblyman Bill Conrad telling me there was no warning of the immediate shutdown of Sumitomo Rubber in the town of Tonawanda, a facility that makes tires for cars, trucks, buses, and motorcycles.
They're no nonsense. There's no drama. They just made a decision by the board of directors in Japan, and they pulled the plug.
The company saying in a statement the closing comes after an extended examination of the viability of the facility. It cites mounting costs, and even with changes it made over the last several years, it did not help with mounting financial losses. Workers I spoke with don't believe it.
I blame it on the dumping of tires into this country from Thailand and China. And there's no tariffs put on them, making ours more costly to produce in the long term.
Gary Pelletier has been working at the plant for 29 years. He says there was no warning. Workers say they were notified the plant would close this week because they had to reduce a high level of inventory, but would reopen Monday.
No clue that this was coming.
Employee Eric Dutchman also didn't buy the inventory shutdown.
It seemed fishy at the time a little bit, but we've had a lot of inventory in the warehouse, more than normal.
The idea that this plant management based in Japan would send over 1,000 workers home, 1,200 workers home, with a promise of coming back to work, and then overnight snap their fingers on a chalkboard or on a piece of paper like we're some sort of statistic here in Western New York and say, forget it, you're not coming back to work? That's horrific.
Congressman Tim Kennedy says he and other local leaders are reaching out to the corporation, hoping in a last-ditch effort they would rescind this decision. Along with 1,200 union workers at the facility, about 350 other white-collar jobs were also lost. Now outside one of the entrances, a dramatic look of very tight security.
I'm kind of at shock right now that they have barricades up and security guards in tactical gear at our main entrance.
Now, I was told by a public relations firm for the company the added security was set up for the white-collar workers who were coming in Thursday to meet about the closing. Now, just a few years ago, this facility underwent a $144 million upgrade. It received more than $3 million in state tax credits, and that has elected leaders and, of course, the employees all wondering why this facility is now shuttered. Leah?
Yeah, a lot of people shocked tonight, and, you know, this facility, of course, one of the 5 largest manufacturers in Western New York, ranking 4th on the list, so clearly impacting a lot of people, impacting this community. I spoke with more workers today who told me that they were so surprised by the news this morning. They have no idea what they're going to do next. How long long did you work there for?
28 years, 3696.
You woke up this morning and
found out the doors were closed.
Tracy Brown is one of hundreds of workers trying to figure out what to do next after learning the Sumitomo Rubber plant he worked at for nearly 3 decades is closing. What was your reaction?
Hurt. It's hard to take. You know, I put so much of my time in here, my damn near 28 years of my life.
Brown says he had no idea the plant was closing and was hoping to finish his career there.
It wasn't unfortunate, you know, just buying a house and all, and what I'm supposed to do now. Too old, I'm up in age, and it's like, got to start all over.
How long did you work there?
29 years and 2 months.
29 years and 2 months, and you found out on Facebook that you didn't have a job.
Yes.
Gary Pelletier also in shock after learning his company plans on shutting down.
Disbelief, disgust. What do I do? What am I going to do for work? Too young to retire. I'm only 49. You never expect that you're going to have to go through this.
Jim Sheridan has been with the company for 26 years, and he can't believe how he learned he no longer has a job.
From a text from somebody that worked at the plant. They're doing some things this week that were unprecedented, right? They closed the facility down. They said it was for inventory and a reduction of costs, but they had to have known. You know, they've got armed guards down there and they've got fencing up.
What are you going to do next?
I have no idea. You know, 55 years old. Built tires my whole life. Another bump in the road, I guess.
What am I going to do? Too old to start over, and don't know. I don't have any skills because I've been working there in a factory my whole life, busting my body up instead.
Yes, it's a real hard process, but with God's will, we'll make it. That's all I can say. We will make it.
Now, according to the company management, they say did make efforts to try to save the plant. Even they said looking for a potential buyer, but they got no offers. So for now, as we know, 1,500 employees here at Sumitomo Tire will not have a job here at this plant. Jeff, we're going to send it back to you in the studio.